This is 4.4, trapezoids. Okay, a trapezoid is a quadrilateral with exactly two parallel sides. So if I label my trapezoid here as J, H, L, K, we know that HL and JK are the bases. These are my two parallel sides. You could also have a trapezoid that looks like this, whereas these are my two parallel sides. So those are the bases. On the other hand, HJ and LK are my legs. So these two angles have a specific property, and those are called my base angles, and so are these two. Okay, the median of a trapezoid are the two midpoints of the two legs joined by the median. So I have my midpoint here of M and my midpoint here of N. It separates each of these legs into two congruent pieces, and so that's connected. So here, MN is my altitude. Now, if two legs of a trapezoid are congruent, the trapezoid is called an isosceles trapezoid. So in the family of quadrilaterals, take a moment and think about how trapezoids and isosceles trapezoids fit into that. Okay, every trapezoid contains two pairs of consecutive interior angles that are supplementary. Okay, base angles of an isosceles trapezoid are going to be congruent. Now, our base angles come off of our base. So that tells me that this one down here is congruent to this one over here. And this one up here is congruent to this one up here. And that's only for an isosceles trapezoid. An altitude of a trapezoid is the line segment from the vertex of one base, not globe, of one base of the trapezoid that is perpendicular to the other base. So if I'm here at a vertex, the altitude is just going to be dropped straight down. The altitude here could be drawn out to there. If you wanted to extend it from this vertex, we could do it across. We could do it down. There's a whole lot of options of what we can do. But the important thing is that it's perpendicular, so we're making right angles in all of these places. So the length of any altitude is the height. Diagonals of an isosceles trapezoid are also going to be congruent. The length of the median of the trapezoid, so if you remember the median, cuts the side in half and connects it. So here we know that this is our median. Oops. This is our median. So the median is equal to half of the sums of the bases. So let's go ahead and call this B1 and this B2. So it's going to be half of the sum of those. So half of B1 plus B2. The median of a trapezoid is parallel to the bases. So as you can tell here, this base and this base, we know those are parallel, so our median is also going to be parallel to that base. If the two base angles of a trapezoid are congruent, then the trapezoid is an isosceles trapezoid. So again, you have to have those two congruent base angles. So if I draw a trapezoid and I tell you that these two are congruent, then we know that it's not only a trapezoid, but it's an isosceles trapezoid. If the diagonals of a trapezoid are congruent, Then the trapezoid is again an isosceles trapezoid. So if I draw a trapezoid here and I have these diagonals and they're the same length, then I have to have an isosceles trapezoid.